Hi, good morning. So today I'm going to discuss about IAM policy, uh, IAM policies. So we are going to create a custom policies and then use that custom policy to create that users. So we'll use and one more we'll have a predefined our AWS managed policies. So we'll use the managed policies to create the users. So first one is we'll create custom policies and then create the user, and second one is we'll use the predefined policies and create the users. Okay, now let's log into the console, and here you can see the console, sign into the console. So I'm just logging into as a root user. So I prefer not to log into the root user. It's not a safe. So prefer to you can create the user with admin privileges and then use that user to log in. So for now I'm just creating my I'm just logging into my root user. So that is my email, and I'm typing my password and click on sign in. So now I logged into this AWS managed console. So now I have to navigate to IAM. So we can do it by two ways. One is we can find IAM service under these domains. So one of the domain is security, identity and compliance. Under this domain you can find this IAM service and click on it, or you can directly type IAM service if you know the name of that service. So and then click on that service name. You will navigate to that IAM page where you have to create the users, policies, uh, roles, so many things. So here we can create users, groups, and you can create the groups and then assign that user to that groups. You can create roles. You can use that roles in the services. So I'll explain you later the roles and the groups. So first we are going to discuss about the policies. So first I'm going to create the policies uh, and then create the users with that policies. So first let's go to the policies page and then click on that policies. So where you can see these are managed policies like AWS managed policies, and I have not created any custom policies, so we have to create those custom policies. So first we'll go for AWS managed policies. We'll use this AWS managed policies and then create the user. After that we'll see the custom policies. So first I'm going to create the um, user. So add user, and then I'm just selecting, I'm calling it as John. So if you want to add another user you can add it multiple users. So I'm just adding one user. So I'm just here we can give two types of access to that user. So one is programmatic access, one more is AWS managed console access. So I'm not giving programmatic access because we are not using any APIs or CLI or SDKs for now. So any other development tools. So I'm not giving this programmatic access. So I'm just giving AWS management console to log into this site to this console. So I'm just selecting this one, and then if you want automatically generate the password you can select this, you can check this radio button. If you want to put your custom password you can select this custom password and then type your custom password. I'm just typing my custom password. and then here if you want to reset the password by user, you can select this one. So by default this policy will be added to the user by default if you select this checkbox. Okay, I'm just going for the next permissions. Here you can add this user, uh, sorry, here you can set permission to that user by adding to a group, or copy permissions from existing user, or you can directly add the policies from the policies. So I don't have any groups, I don't have any user existing users, so I have to go for attach existing policies. So here you can find your predefined policy whichever you want to select. So you can find that predefined policy here, or managed policies, AWS managed policies. So I'm just selecting one of the policy which is called as Amazon uh, EC2 full access. EC2 full access. So select that policy and go for the tags. So you can type your tag. So my key value is name. Name of that value is I'm putting it as EC2 full access. So next, review the details. So here you can find the all the details which you gave in previous steps. So you can find the details. So I put it as name as John, and then I put it as with password, the user with password, and then I gave this policy, and this policy by default will be added if you check that checkbox whenever you're creating that user. So and then I put it as a tag name as EC2 full access, and then create the user. So here you can see the success message. You successfully created the user shown below. So I have successfully created the John user. Um, now you can find the details here. So I have created John. I have attached this policy. I have by default this policy also I have attached, and created the login profile for the John user. So I have created a login profile for John user. So you can use this URL to log into the AWS console. So you can use this URL. So or you can if you want to send a login details in email, you can click on this send email button. You will prompt to this Gmail or whatever mail service you are using. So here it is saying hello. So you now access to the AWS console, so on so on, ending in this one account. This is the account ID, and then you can find the details. So here they will not show the password if you put the custom. So you can type your custom password here and then send it. So I'm not doing it wrong. So I'm just cancelling. I'm just going back to my IAM console, AWS console. Okay, so it came back to this IAM add user page. I'm just cancelling this because the user is already added. So the user is already added now. So now we have to log into this user. So I'm just log out from this root user, login to log into this user, John user. So just sign into the console. You can that. So John is not a root user, so I have to select IAM user radio button. So click on that IAM user, and I have copied my account ID and then pasting it. So now click on that next. It will prompt to enter the username and password. So here I am entering my user called John. I am entering the password of the John. sign in. Click on that sign in. So here it is prompted. You must change your password to continue. So it is saying we have to change the password to continue to further pages. So enter the old password, enter the new password, and then retype the new password. So and confirm password change. So now I successfully logged into the John user. So here you can see this username, which is called as John at the rate the account ID. So now I logged into as John. So now I'm going to create a EC2 instance because I gave EC2 full permission, EC2 full access permission. Now John only have the permission to EC2 only. He doesn't have any other service. He doesn't have permission to any other service like S3. So if I click on the S3, so simple S3 means simple storage service. So here it is saying insufficient permission to list buckets. So I don't have permission to list the buckets. To see the buckets, I don't have the permission. So it is saying permission denied because John only have the permission to EC2 full access. So he doesn't have any other services. So I'm just going to click on that EC2 instance, sorry, EC2 service. So now you can see the EC2 details here. EC2 Elastic Cloud Computing. We will call it as Elastic Cloud Computing EC2. So here you can see how many running instances, how many dedicated hosts, how many volume, how many key pairs. You can see all the detail, how many security groups, load balancers, snapshots. So many details you can see here. So now we have to launch EC2 instance because I only have EC2 permission to create EC2 instances. So here you can do it, click on this, or you can go inside of running instances, and here you can find the launch instance. So click on that launch instance. So here after clicking on that launch instance, you will find 7 steps here. So we have to go through each and every step to create EC2 instance. So first you can find appropriate AMI, Amazon Machine Image, we will call it as AMI. So you can find my AMIs, you can find, so John doesn't have any AMIs, so or you can find it in marketplace. You can find whatever the operating system, or if you want to create your own AMI, if you can go for the marketplace and then you can create your own AMI. So for now I'm just creating a predefined AMIs. So I'm just selecting my Amazon Linux 2 AMI. So I'm just selecting it here because here I have the free trial eligible. So you can find so many operating systems here, major Linux 2, Red Hat, SUSC, Ubuntu, Windows Server, so many things you can find. So you can select so whichever you want to. Okay, and for now I'm just selecting Amazon Linux 2 AMI. So just select it. It is a 64-bit. And then select. So in the second step, we have to choose instance type. So how much RAM you want to give to that server. You can find so many types of instance types. So you can see. So for now, I'm just selecting T2 micro and go for next configuration instance details. Here you can see the details, which are how many instances you want to create at a time with the same configuration details. So you can select number of instances. If you want to select 10, you can select 10. If you want to create 20, if you want, you can type 20. So for now I'm just selecting one. I'm just entering one instance. So and this is to spot request, so I'll explain you later to this one. So I'm just keeping everything as default in this page. So here it is saying you don't have permission to list instance profile. Okay, because I only gave EC2 full access because I don't have IAM full access. So it is saying I cannot select or I cannot list instance profiles. So this is okay. For now, I don't want to use any IAM role to create this instance. So I'll leave it as same thing. So I don't need to create any to select IAM role. So I'll ignore it, whatever. So go for next step, add story. So here we have to add how much hard disk you want to use for that server. So here I'm just selecting 8 GB. It's by default it is 8 GB, and I'm putting it as general purpose. We have three types of provision and magnetic. So I'm just selecting general purpose SSD. It's SSD type storage, and then go for the next add tags. So I'm naming that server this name, and the key value is name, and the value is I'm putting it as production server. I'll put production. I'll put as production. So next we have to add inbound rules to that. So we'll call it here security groups. Like if you want to connect to that system, which port you want allowed to that system. So here we'll give all the details. So if you want to give some other port, SSH or HTTP, here you have to allow all those details. So if you want to add HTTPS, you can add it. If you want to add a custom TCP port, for example, if you want to add some port 6000, you can add it, and then you can add your CIDR value, or you can open to the worldwide. So these are some kind of firewall kind of things. So which port you want to allow here to that system. So for now I'm just selecting SSH, so I don't want to allow any of those. So I'm just here it is saying the warning because I opened to the worldwide. So if you want to put your custom password, custom CIDR value, for example, as an office, if you want to connect to the system in your office premises, you can enter your CIDR values of your network. So you can type your own IP or office network CIDR value. So for now, I'm just opening to the worldwide. That's why it is saying the warning. So you are open to the worldwide. So for now, I ignored the warning. Then launch it. And so same warning here this one. So here you can see the review page, and my details, instance type, and then everything. You can see all the details here. So how much storage you gave, which tag you gave. So everything you can find. And then if you feel everything is correct, and go on launch it. Okay. And if you want to edit something, you can edit here, and then launch the server. So here we have to create a key pair. So this key pair we'll use to connect the server through SSH or anything. So you can create a key pair, or you can use uh, existing key pair. So for now I'm just creating a key pair. So I'll call it as production key pair. Production key pair, and then download this key pair. So this key pair will not be available in AWS. So you have to keep it safe, this key pair which you downloaded. So if you lose it, so it is gone. So you cannot connect to that server. Okay, launch the instances. Now just launch the instances. So now you have successfully launched the instance. It is saying your instance is now launching it. So this is the instance ID. If you click on this one, it will take you to the page where it is launching instances page. So click on that ID. So here you can see that EC2 instance is initializing. So once status check is completed, so the server is up and running. So it will take 1 minute to initialize, to set up the hardware and everything. So here you can see two status checks we have to check. One is system status, one more is instance status checks. So if these two are initialized, our system is ready to use. So let's wait for 1 minute and then initialize. So now we are able to create EC2 instances with that policy, predefined policies. So we used predefined policies, and then we have created the EC2 instance with that John user. So now I'm going to create one more EC2 instance. Okay, so same AMI. So everything will be the same. I'm just going for the next, and this is also same. Here I'm tagging it as a name, and this is as a QA. So and go for the next security groups. I'm just putting the same everything and the view and launch. So if you want to use the same key pair, or you can create the new key pair. I'm just selecting the existing key pair. So I'll just create the new key pair for our QA. Create a new key pair. I'm just putting it as QA key pair. So and then download. So I have created one more key pair, and then I'm launching one more EC2 instance. So this EC2 instance I created for the next custom policies. So what do we have? So this production is up and running. So now the status checks are 2 by 2. So two of them are successfully passed. So you can see here, instance reachability check passed, and then reachability check passed. System and instance reachability check pass is true. So everything is good, and it is now running. Production server is running. So now I'm going to create a custom policy um, to a user, so he can only access either production or QA. So he cannot access two of them. So I'm just going to give only to this server, production server, to access or to perform anything on this EC2 instance. Okay, now let's go and do it. So first we have to create the custom policies. So because as I'm in John user, I cannot able to create any of this IAM user or anything. So I have to go back to my root user. So let's go back to root users. So first sign out of this user, and then sign into the console, DevOps 9. So now I'm just creating and signing into the root user email, and then typing my email, and then entering my password. So now I was able to log into this AWS management console. So now go to IAM. So first we have to create the custom policies. So before we have used predefined policies like AWS managed policies. Now I'm going to create my own policies. So here you can see a button called create the policy. Click on that create policy. So here you can see services, which service you want to give permission, and which action you want to give on which resource, on which condition. So first I am going to select EC2. So I'm just selecting EC2 service, and this EC2 instance, so I want to give only you can see here so many permissions you want to describe. So if you want to keep something like describe key pairs, if you want to see which key pairs you want to use, you can select whichever appropriate access level. We will call it as access levels. These are. So if you want to describe the instances, if you select this one, he can able to describe the instance. If you don't select this one, he cannot able to see the instances, how many instances are running. If you want to see the user, you have to select this one. So I am going to select the describe instances, and then if you want to show the describe instance status, anything, if you want to see everything, you can put it. So for now I'm just selecting everything. So if you want still customize, you can do it by selecting each and every one. So one by one. So I'm just selected it. Just this one also I'm giving everything, and here. So I'm just selecting all. So here you can give what is this, specific resources, actions. So just selecting it. So I give all actions, and then resources. Uh, if you select it, it will do for each and every resource for all the servers. So I'm just specifying the services. So I want to give instance. So add. So I'm just selecting here which region, which account, and which instance ID you want to give it. So I'm just I'm giving North Virginia. I have created instance in the North Virginia, so which we will call it as US East 1. So this is my account ID. I'm just I have to give the instance ID, which for example I'll just go back to this EC2 because I have to copy the instance ID. So I'm just opening one more tab. So back here. So so I want to give only production server. This one I want instance ID is this one. So copy this one and come back to here and click on that instance and type US East 1 and type that EC2 instance. So now I have given full access to this EC2 instances, to this production EC2 instance, and then add it. So now you can create review policies because I am not putting any condition. So if you want to put MFA is required, if you want source IP, you can put it. So I'm not giving any conditions because I'm creating a policy uh, to access only this server, okay, to this production server. So I have given all the access to this EC2 instance, to this production EC2 instance. I'm not putting any other conditions. So let's create the policy. I'm creating the policy name as uh, full actions on production server. Okay, I named it as a full actions on production server. So copy same thing. I'll copy here. So policy defines some actions, resources, condition that not provide permission to grant access. Policy you must You must have an action that has applicable resource or condition. So that is okay. Just summary, and then creating the policy. Here it is saying your request exceeds limits of 40 seconds. Remove one or more existing item to exit. Policy size. Here I'm not able to create. It is saying the problem. Then let's check what would be that. Okay, let's just review it once again. Back to previous. Sorry. Let's create again. So choose EC2, EC2, display all. And this we create right. So I'm just giving in the right stop and start to that EC2 instance. So specific instance, add ARM. So US East 1 instance ID. So we have to get the instance ID here, copy, paste, and add this, and review the policy. Just stop and start production server. So I just gave only stop and start to that production server. Okay, just copy paste, create the policy. So now I have created my stop and start production server. This policy you can see here. You type here, here it is saying customer managed. It's not AWS managed because we created it. So now let's go and create the user and putting it as Smith, and then only give AWS console, and then give the password, and then go for the next, and then add the custom policy. So I'll put it as, so this custom policy I have to set because I searched it by the name. So okay, so select this policy and add tags. If you want to add the tag names, you can add it. So, and for now, I'm just skipping. Next review and then create the user. So now user is successfully created. Now let's go back to Smith user login. So close it. I'm just logging out of this user. root user and just log into Smith user to verify it, because Smith is not a root user, so I have selected IAM user. So we have to type 1 minute. I have to get my ID, so I'm just copying it here from here. Copy and then Smith and then enter the password. Okay, I have entered the password. So here it is so we have to change the password. And then changing the password and then retyping the password. Confirm password change. So now we have logged into Smith user. So if you go to EC2, so you can list and you can describe everything, you can see it, but you cannot do any actions on QA server because I didn't give the permission. So if you try to stop it, so it will say you are not authorized to perform it, because I gave custom policy to stop and start only the production server. Okay, cancel, because I'm not authorized. If you try to do this one, production server, you can do it. I think it should stop. So it is, so now it is saying it is stopped, because the user only have the permission to stop on this server, not on this server. So you can like that way you can add it, how many servers you want to add it in the policy, you can add it and then you can do it same way. So we can create like this. So this is one custom. So I'll just go back to my DevOps root login. I'll show one more custom policy and then into this root login and then come back root user DevOps integrate. So now go to IAM. So I'm going to create two more policies. So the same way. So like same way you can create for RDS or S3 or anything. So if you want to create S3 full access, you can create your own, and within that S3 you want to give permission to one bucket, you can give it to that ARN. So now I'm going to create an S3 related custom policies. So I'll just create the policy and choose the service which is as so 1 minute, because I didn't have any S3 buckets. So let's create two buckets. S3 create a bucket. I'm putting it, bucket name should be unique throughout the world, throughout the AWS. So we have to put bucket name as unique. So I'm just selecting it as DevOps 1204. I'm just naming it, bucket name it as DevOps Pro Developer. And then I'm just selecting the region US East 1. And then so here I'm not allowing anyone to connect my bucket. So and then create. So here it is saying already bucket name must contain uppercases, should not contain. So just prod is already, it is saying it's already exists. So I'm putting the codes and I'm putting the numbers on the beside the bucket name and then create the bucket. created a bucket. I'm just creating one more bucket, which is DevOps QA. 120, because that might be already exist. So I'm creating that bucket. So same way, if you want to give only access to this bucket, we can do it same way, like one EC2 instance I gave, one I don't have. So within that also you can create, you can see only stop and start, or you can here we can see so many actions here. If you want to delete the object, you can do it so many actions. You can only copy it, we can do it so many. I'll show you. I'll go back to IAM. So then create the policies and choose the S3 service, and then just list everything. I'm just only listing that bucket. Right. So you can specify it. You can see the actions which we give. So now I'm going to specify access point. If you want access point and everything, you can add it. And then bucket. So here you can add the bucket name. So which you want to do. So DevOps hyphen QA. I'm just giving permission to only this bucket. And then access point, if you want to add access point, here you can see yes is one minute. So I don't want to put everything, so let's go actions. So that select everything here. So I don't want to put everything all actions, so I'm just keeping it only to this bucket. So you can create the policy and then create the policy name. So S3 you can put DevOps 1204, DevOps QA 1204, QA 1204. Okay, so you can copy paste and then create the policy, and you can assign this policy to any user. So S3 policy is created, you can do it. So you can create your custom policies in different way. So or you can put like, you can create your own policy by JSON also. So if you see existing JSON, if you know how to write the JSON, you can write it here. In this you can type the JSON and you can add it. So you can do it by visual editor and you can do it. So this is what we have to do. So thank you.